Chris here, and that is what we're going to go over today, okay? This Malagueña melody that is just super famous. Wonderful, wonderful study for your technique. So we're going to talk about a bunch of things. We're going to learn the chords, learn the techniques, the picking hand techniques, and then the actual melody. And at the very end, I'm going to go over some additional details that you got to look out for, okay? So stick around for that. All right, so the first thing for the absolute beginners here, I want to make sure that you guys know what an E major chord and an A minor chord are, okay? The E major chord is open 6th string, okay? Then we have the 2nd fret of the 5th string, 2nd fret of the 4th string with your middle 2 fingers, okay? Then we're going to put your first finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, and then we're going to have the open 2 high strings, okay? So we're going to play through with our thumb from the 6th string to the 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. Okay, so we have 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0. Okay, so that's an E major chord. Okay, the biggest problem that I see beginner students have is the muting of these top 2 strings. It's really easy for your first finger to lay flat and mute those guys. Okay, so make sure you push your hand forward, get that arch on that first finger. Okay, there you go. So work on that. Once you have that really strong, then we're going to take this down towards the floor. You're going to keep this exact same chord shape. You're going to move it towards the floor, 1 string each. So now you're going to start from the 5th string. Do not play that low E string. Okay, you're going to start from the 5th string, the A string. And so now it is 0, 2, 2, 1, 0. That high open E string, once again, what I find with my beginner students is that that's the highest probability of a miss, okay? And it's usually that mute, okay? Letting that first finger mute that string. So get that finger up on its arch, okay? Up on its tip, well arched, okay? 5th string down. So then once you have the E chord and the A minor, then you got to practice working between the 2. All 6 strings for the E, the 5 strings for the A. Okay? It's very dramatic. Yes? All right. Very good. So then we're going to go into the melody. Okay? The melody has, there's 3 melodies, 2 short melodies, 1 long melody. And we're going to play the melody with what is called, the technique is called Picado. Please look underneath in the comment, or not the comments, but the description section. I'm going to leave a link for my intro to Picado lesson, okay? If you're not familiar with this technique, you got to check that out, okay? So go and watch that. And then also if you have questions, like if you're familiar with Picado and then you have questions about something that is happening during the Picado section of this, make sure to go look at that video and that might answer your question, okay? I tried to do that video before I did this so you would have all the answers, okay? Very good. So let's see, what was I going to say? So the melody number 1, okay? So we're going to do 0, 1, 3, 1 on the 1st string, and we're going to go with our Picado. 0, 1, 3, 1. That's it. That's melody number 1. 0, 1, 3, 1. E, F, G, F. Okay? So then after that, we're going to hit the E major chord, play through it with your thumb, all 6 strings. It's important that you practice just that and make sure that you can get this transition. Okay? And we're going to talk further about that stuff at the end of the lesson, but right now that's going to be good enough there. Melody number 2 is on the 2nd string. We're going to go 0, 3, 1, 0. Okay? With our Picado. And then our first finger just played that 1st fret. It's going to go right back and play the A minor chord. Remember, with your thumb, you're going to play from the 5th string down towards the floor. So just practice that. Good. All right, for melody number 3, this is the longest melody, okay? We start on the 3rd string, okay? So there's something to be aware of. The first melody's on the 1st string. Second melody's on the 2nd string. The 3rd melody starts on the 3rd string. So that's pretty easy to remember. we have 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's going to be on the 3rd string. Then you're going to go to the 2nd string, and you're going to play 0, 1, 0. And then you're going to play 3, 1, 0, still on that 2nd string. And then you're going to play one last note. You're going to go back to that 3rd string for the 2nd fret. That's the last note, okay? I told you it was a long melody. We have 2, 1, 2 on the 3rd string. 0, 1, 0 on the 2nd string. 3, 1, 0. 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And then we're going to play the E major. All right. So I do have tabs available and the entire lesson plan. Everything that I talk about in this plus a little bit more is going to be in the lesson plan. It's available for all of my Patreon subscribers, so please consider signing up. You'll get lots of cool lessons and all the tabs and lesson plans and stuff, so please consider that, and that's that. I also have to mention, if you're liking the video, subscribe, and hit the notification button and get all the bells and whistles and all that stuff. I'm going to be doing another lesson just on more details of this particular part, even after I give you a couple other tips at the end of this lesson. So look out for that. I'll release that next week, all right? Good deal. So now let's get back. This song is in 3/4. That means the time signature is 3/4. There's 3 beats per measure, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The melody starts on beat 2, okay? And it's 8 notes. So it's 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 1. So all the chords land on 1. The melody starts on beat 2. Does that make sense? Go back, review it, rewind it, and go through that again, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to play all of it, okay? I'm going to have the metronome at 72 beats per minute. Because it's 3/4, I'll count 1, 2, 3, and then 1, and then we'll start the melody, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1. So there you have that, okay? Hopefully that's totally understandable and clear. Let me know if you have any questions at all. Write it in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you have other requests, let me know, okay? Because I would love to be able to read your mind, or maybe I wouldn't. So anyway, here we go. Other bonus tips. If I had like fancy computers, if I had a fancy computer, I'd be able to go bonus tips, and there'd be like a Superman going bonus tips and all that stuff. So, but I don't have that. I just concentrate on guitar and teaching. Okay. So, what I want to talk about is the timing of that thumb stroke. Okay. The timing of it, and also where it's coming from. What I do not want you to do is to rip off your thumbnail. Our nails are very important to us as guitarists, so we have to take good care of them. And one way to take good care of your thumbnail in this instance, with this particular transition, would be to pre-place your thumb, okay? So, let's go for that beginning melody. Melody number 1. And then here. What I highly recommend you do not do this. I would put one of those red circles with a line through it. Do not do this, where you lift your thumb and go like this. That's a really, really high probability of just ripping off your thumbnail, okay? And tearing it and blood, all kinds of bad things, all right? So don't do that, okay? Pre-place your thumb. If you happen to be, if you're, you're floating while you do your picado, at least place it here before you play that part for every single section. So pre-place that thumb. Write that down. Pre-place the thumb. Okay? Pre-place the thumb. Try to implement that in other parts of your playing. Okay? You don't want to lose that nail. All right? And then the next thing would be the timing of this. So we have all 6 strings to get through. You can get through them really quick. Yeah, it doesn't take very long. But it still is a consideration. I'm not playing the first string first. I'm playing the bottom string or the fifth string. Yeah, one of the two. And I have to get to that the top strings to complete that melody idea, okay? So you just want to make sure eventually, after you have the mechanics of this and your hands are working well, really focus on the timing of that thumb stroke. For right now, I want you to play through from either the E major. When you're playing the E major, you play all 6 strings. So you're going to pretend the melody ends on that first string for both chords. Meaning you play all 6 strings and your high E string is your goal to get that on the downbeat. The A minor, same thing. The high E string is the goal to get that on the downbeat. Okay? Let's just do that melody number 1 as an example at BPM 72, okay? Watch, okay? I'll count in 1, 2, 3, 1. You see how I anticipated the beat? 1, 2, 3, 1. And this high E string is what you want to land. It needs to sound like this. 1. And it needs to sound that way on every single melody and then the chord. Melody and then the chord. The chord actually completes the melody. And right now we're going to say that the melody is that top E string because as an exercise, especially as a beginner, I want you to be able to get through all the strings and be able to land that first string on the downbeat. Okay? That's a lot of work. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to take this metronome up to 100. And we'll play through it a few times. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 1, and then we start on 2. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 1. So, hopefully you understand everything. Make sure that you sign up, subscribe, click on the notification buttons. Let me know if you have any questions at all. If you want the tabs and the full lesson plan, go get it at Patreon. And you got lots of other cool stuff over there, past lessons and upcoming lessons, all right? So, thank you so much. Enjoy the work, and we'll see you soon. Happy guitar playing, ole.